Loaf. Tofu. Knife. Ketchup. Water. More water. Tofu. Loaf. Slice. Loaf. Bread. Slice. Haha. Tofu. On bread. Sandwich. Good. Most triumphant. Good. Food. Good. Good. Food. Mess. More. Out. Mm. Excellent. Ultimate. Yes, I am having a good time, Jamie. I'm having the best time of my life. This sandwich is most triumphant. Yes. Tofu is magical because by itself doesn't have much of a taste. Therefore, you can mix it with anything. My roommate puts mustard on things. I like mustard too. Wait a minute. I have mustard. Mustard. New ketchup. Powerade. It does so happen that there are vegan hot dogs, Jamie. We bought some at Hy-Vee recently, and I think they were soy based, so they had the same softness of tofu, but they were in the shape of hot dogs. So, I mean, it works. In fact, if you had a party and you had regular hot dogs and vegan hot dogs, I doubt anyone would know the difference. Ah, good. Weird. Combo. Hey, Jamie, I see your comments. Is it okay if I put that comment on the screen? Because I would like to speak about this issue. Okay. I need to talk about something. I wasn't going to go into this, but this is important and worth mentioning. So a while back, my friend Jamie had a little Facebook argument with someone named Sovereign. And the argument was about red kidney beans and about how they can be poisonous if you eat them raw. But here's where things got really ugly, is that Sovereign personally attacked Jamie and called him either an idiot or a moron or something like that. And along with Sovereign was someone named Joe Saunderson. And these people, let's just say that they have a lot to learn about how to treat people. Because not only do these people personally attack people, but their comments, their posts otherwise reveal a hatred of disabled people, which is what Jamie is referencing in this comment. We had an email exchange about this previously. So I want to read this out loud and I want to respond to this comment by Jamie. Thanks for the responses and emails. That was very nice for you, showing support there. It was really terrible, all the horrific comments Joe Saunderson was making about vegans, calling us ableist slurs and whatnot, not to mention his attacks against disabled people on benefits. You work and you never once judged your mother for receiving Social Security. I'm pleased with you being accepting of people who need assistance. That's a character trait of an ethical human being. Thank you, Jamie. But there's something you need to understand. It's not just because I'm an ethical human being. Actually, I'm a unicorn, but that's another story. But there's a little story that I want to talk about here, okay? See, some people are on government assistance, which of course is tax funded. And this is a very interesting issue because there are many people who are disabled and cannot work, whether physical or psychological reasons why some people are unable to work. And this is the thing. Some people oppose welfare entirely. Some people completely think we should not have any welfare. We should not have taxation fund these things because they assume that all people who are on government assistance are lazy people who are just too lazy to work. And first of all, there may be some people like that out there, but I can tell you that if you're lazy, then government assistance is not for you. The paperwork is immense. The constant proving of things that you have to do. You have to prove that you're disabled. You have to prove what your condition is. You have no medical privacy. It's no fun being on government assistance. It's not fun at all. And I'm an adult who works and donates plasma. In fact, that's why I have my bandage on today. I work my part-time job at at Hy-Vee, and I donate plasma, and I've been selling things, anything I can do to make enough money to pay my rent and bills. And I'm doing pretty good. Plus I have the help of my roommate. But I am only here today because of government assistance. That's just a fact. That's just a fact that my mother and I in the past have received SSI, and we legitimately needed it. That was the only reason we had a place to live was, subsidized housing and food stamps and SSI. And the only reason I'm alive today to be someone who rents my apartment and works a job and pays my bills is because my mother raised me. And she would not have been able to raise me. She would not have been able to homeschool me if she worked a job outside the home. And so when I see people who assume that all disabled people should just die and have their benefits being taken away, I feel very sad because they don't know it, but they're talking about me. People meet me today, but they don't realize that the only reason I had food, clothing, and a place to live was because of my mother and her government benefits. Now, on the flip side of this, I know that there are some people who are against welfare because it comes through taxation and believe that people should be helped, but only voluntarily through charity organizations where people donate to certain things to help people or help people themselves. And the thing is, people still have the option to donate to charity. They still have the option to give money to the poor. They still have that option. But I find myself seeing both sides of this issue because on the one hand, I generally don't like taxation. Nobody likes taxation because the amount we're charged in taxes is first it's taken from our paychecks and it's used to fund many things, which we do or do not approve of. So here's the thing. I can understand that someone might be against the taxation principle. And if we abolish taxation, then there's basically no politicians either because their paycheck comes forcibly stolen from us through taxation. So I hate taxation and wish there was no government or taxation. But I will say that when people are given food stamps and Section 8 housing and SSI or SSDI or Social Security or whatever, these forms of government programs that keep these people alive who have disabilities, then that is the one good use of taxes. That is the one good use. And the truth is, it's less work to work my job and pay my bills than it was when I was a kid having to fill out form after form and my mom filling out form after form about her disability, about my disability, and all that sort of a thing. And it's hard to go from that to going to be a somewhat normal person of society who works a job and pays your bills. I was not able to get my first job until I was 25 years old. And I had a lot of discrimination against me because you may not realize it, but I'm still disabled in many ways. And yet I've been able to do well and I've been able to work jobs. Some people never do. Some people are able to work jobs, but then they have some sort of disability, whether they lost a leg and can't walk, or they have, bipolar or schizophrenia or some kind of psychological disease that they can't work unless they get the medication, but they can't pay for their medication unless they work. So you have people in those kinds of situations, The truth of the matter is it's complicated. And I don't like it when I see people saying hateful things towards disabled people and saying that they should die. I don't like that. I also don't like people personally attacking people and calling them an idiot because they share links to studies that show that raw red kidney beans can be poisonous to humans. You know, it's like people have differences of opinion, and I believe in freedom of speech, don't get me wrong. And so I don't think that people should be censored off of social media, even for saying these hateful things. Why? Because then people remove me and ban me for not doing anything wrong, but simply because they view my actions or words as harmful or hateful. You know, there are people that think that being gay or that being transgender, there are even people out there who hate vegans, who actually hate vegans and call us names and insult us and do acts of violence against vegans because they think vegans are a threat because we want to take away their right to eat meat. But bottom line is there's a balance. There's a balance in the sense that on the one hand, I try to educate people about being vegan and being nonviolent. I try to educate people about these things. But it is frustrating. And I will tell you this, there are many vegans who are not very nice people to other humans, because there comes a time when you have a choice of whose life you value more. And I've told people before that I do often value the life of a cow, sheep, pig, or chicken more than I do another human. And it depends on the human and what their attitude is, how much I personally value their life. And some people get so fed up with carnist humans that they say horrible things. I'm sure there are even vegans who would go and murder other carnist humans in order to keep those people that they murdered from continuing to murder other animals. And that's a whole ethical discussion to be made in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, do you kill one person to stop them from killing others? And these issues are complicated. And I really did want to talk about this because, you know, people need to be made aware when they're saying something that is incorrect or is not kind. But I will tell you this, I always value the truth, even over kindness. And I do think that Joe Saunderson and Sovereign Lazarus said some things that are hateful and that were not kind. And in this case, they were not truthful either, in my opinion. And so I really feel like that should be called out. I just wasn't sure the right way to go about it. I don't know if it will even matter what I said here. But Jamie, I do want you to know that I fully understand why you are upset, Jamie. I totally do. And we've talked about some of these things because people have said some hateful things. And I'm not always sure how to handle these situations. But anyway, I do see you left me a lot more comments, but I was just on a little bit of a rant there. Let's see. Most people can work. I realize that, however, it does make sense in a wealthy nation like ours or UK to have some kind of government-paid infrastructure through taxation. It is the reason why they were developed. They did that out of necessity. I think vulnerable people being stuck in poverty and homelessness is more harmful than the idea of workers being taxed a small percentage of income. You know what, Jamie? I couldn't agree more. It's true. See, here's what you people need to know is yes, I don't like taxes being taken out of my paycheck, but at least I'm able to still pay my bills. And some people hopefully are helped. So I'm a big advocate of these programs, even though I wish they didn't need to exist. But because our world is messed up and because people have problems, people do need disability benefits and stuff like that. And so the cost of what it would mean for their lives is much more than the personal cost to me being taxed a small amount. That said, I think that people are taxed too much, and it would be possible if we eliminated the military, for example, that more taxes could go to helping people in need rather than funding wars or making politicians rich. I think all politicians should be paid minimum wage. And let's see who wants to be a politician then. That stuff will never happen, but just throwing the idea out there, folks. So yeah, anyway, so okay, to sum up this live stream, I made a sandwich and ate it, actually 2 sandwiches. And then I talked about people's attitudes in relation to disabled people and my general thoughts on that. And I will say one more thing. In case Sovereign ever does watch this live stream, I want you to know, Sovereign, that on the one hand, I think that you were hateful towards Jamie, and I don't like the way that you keep commenting and fighting with him. On the other hand, I know that there are some people who you need to be nasty with that. Like, there are some carnists making excuses and shit why they won't go vegan, and justifying their carnism, justifying child molestation, all kinds of things. People do horrible things. And those are the people that you need to go and pick fights with if you feel like it. But not Jamie, because Jamie's a good guy. And I want you to know that. I've seen your posts, I've seen your comments, and I want you to knock it off and leave Jamie alone. But also, Jamie, I want you to know that you should block Sovereign and put this behind you. That's my final word on this topic, okay? So, all things considered, this has been a very interesting live stream. Anyway, now you guys know the excellent way to make tofu sandwiches. All you need is bread and tofu and a knife. Or you can pull the tofu apart with your bare hands. That works too. But this time I decided to be civilized and use a knife. So I'll see you around, Jaden. I'll be playing Minecraft together. Bye for now.